Is Father's Day just about another awkward tie, another last-minute card? Let's set the record straight. Behind the backyard barbecues and the retail rush, there's a story pulsing with heartbreak, grit, and a stubborn dream that refused to die. This isn't the Father's Day you think you know. It's bigger, it's bolder, and it's proof that every great idea needs a champion, and a little drama never hurts. Most folks see fathers as the other half of the picture, background players in the family album. Another holiday, another reason to grill. But the road to Father's Day? It was rough, full of naysayers and near misses. This is the story they never told you in school. The story of a fight, a few visionaries, and the kind of stubbornness every dad would be proud of. So where did the first idea for Father's Day originate? And where? Was it in the United States? It actually began with a tragic event. Picture this: December 6, 1907, in Monongah, West Virginia. A terrible explosion ripped through the Fairmont Coal Company mines, killing at least 362 men and leaving about 1,000 children without their fathers. This catastrophe, one of the worst mining disasters in U.S. history, struck home for Grace Golden Clayton. Having lost her own father, she urged her local church to hold a special service to honor all the fathers who died. That service took place on July 5, 1908. However, it was more of a one-off memorial born from tragedy and didn't immediately spark a larger movement. The push for Father's Day that really gained traction started a couple of years later, clear across the country. In Spokane, Washington, a young woman named Sonora Smart Dodd was listening to a Mother's Day sermon in 1909. Her father, William Jackson Smart, was a Civil War veteran who raised Sonora and her 5 younger brothers all by himself after their mother died in childbirth. Hearing all the praise for mothers, Sonora thought, what about dads? She firmly believed that fathers, like hers, deserved their own day of honor for all their hard work and sacrifices. Sonora Smart Dodd didn't let good ideas gather dust. She was the spark plug, the kind who knocks on doors and rallies the town. Churches, barbershops, corner stores, she got them all on board, and it worked. On June 19, 1910, Washington State held the first real Father's Day. Roses pinned proudly, red for the dads you could hug, white for the ones you could only remember. A simple symbol, a powerful start. However, making Father's Day a national holiday was a whole different struggle. Mother's Day sailed through and was officially recognized by President Woodrow Wilson in 1914. Father's Day, on the other hand, faced significant resistance and took much longer to achieve recognition. Ironically, many men themselves were not on board at first. They thought it was a trivial attempt to dilute manliness or just a commercial ploy to mimic Mother's Day, and they weren't interested. Congress shot down early proposals for the holiday, and the movement fizzled for decades. Some even suggested a combined Parents' Day instead. The entire campaign struggled, and Sonora had to put her efforts on hold in the 1920s while she studied in Chicago. For a time, the movement nearly died out, even in Spokane. Wild, isn't it? If you're hungry for stories that don't make it into the textbooks, you're in the right place. Stay tuned. There's more truth where this came from. But Sonora Smart Dodd? She was nothing if not persistent. She returned to Spokane in the 1930s and reignited the campaign. This time, she had backing from trade groups, merchants selling items like ties, tobacco, and classic dad gifts. Slowly but surely, the idea began to gain traction. Prominent figures like President Woodrow Wilson and President Calvin Coolidge supported it. Coolidge even encouraged state governments to observe the day in 1924. Wilson took part in a flag unfurling ceremony in Spokane in 1916, all via telegraph. Then came World War II, which gave Father's Day an unexpected boost. Advertisers began promoting it as a way to honor American troops and support the war effort. Suddenly, the holiday felt more patriotic. By the time the war ended, Father's Day had become a national tradition, even if it wasn't yet officially recognized as a federal holiday. Still, much more effort was needed. It wasn't until 1966 that President Lyndon B. Johnson made the first presidential proclamation honoring fathers and established the third Sunday in June as Father's Day. The final official recognition came in 1972, 62 years after Sonora Smart Dodd's first celebration in Spokane. That was when President Richard Nixon signed a public law making Father's Day a permanent national holiday, celebrated on the third Sunday of June. Sonora Smart Dodd was 90 years old when her incredible lifelong work finally paid off. Now, regarding that commercial aspect that early critics worried about, it definitely became part of Father's Day. Economists estimate we spend over $1 billion on gifts each year. But you know what? Sonora Smart Dodd herself reportedly wasn't bothered by it. She fought 62 years for this day. And if people wanted to buy their fathers a tie to celebrate it, she was just fine with that. But not everyone felt the same way. Because around the same time Sonora was leading her Father's Day campaign, another woman was fighting her own battle to create Mother's Day. And unlike Sonora, she was absolutely horrified by what it became. She spent the last years of her life trying to cancel the very holiday she created. That story is just as untold and just as remarkable. If you want to know what happened, that video is right up there. And if today's story moved you at all, subscribe, because this is exactly what we do here at History Still Matters Today. We dig up the stories nobody taught you and show you why they still matter right now. I'll see you in the next one.